It's all going down. The police are closing in. The clients are leaving, and maybe Jisoo is going down permanently at the end because we seen him finally get caught by Rudale. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment here to review Extracurricular Season 1, Episode 6, and we're now into the second half of the season. We're into the second half, and things are beginning to heat up. So we carry on where we left off from the last time, where Jisoo and Guri, they walk in and they see the police officer sitting talking with Minhee, and she's kind of catching on about the whole minor sex trafficking thing. And obviously, if this gets out, if it could be a disaster. It could bring everybody down. So Jisoo obviously panicking about this. He tries to confront the police officer. He tries to tell her to get out Detective Lee, but that's not really going to work here. And before you know it, they find themselves getting kicked out of the study room. Now Jisoo, he's desperate to get back in there, but Guri's like, look, you can't be messing with the police. Why are the police even here? She could just be a bully. She's trying to give other reasons as to why the police are involved. But then Jisoo reveals at the very beginning of the series, he actually phoned the police when Minhee was in trouble. So Guri berates him and says, how could you be so dumb? How could you get the police involved? But he is adamant that he had to try. I had to save her. She could have died. And you know what? I mean, he is a nice guy despite maybe doing some shady shit. So I don't think he was ever going to leave her. But yeah, him possibly phoning the police on himself, really, in the opening episode, not a good idea to attract attention to this line of work.
Yeah, definitely some shady stuff here from Jisoo, but he is a good guy deep down. He is a nerd. He is a thoughtful. He's a caring man. He's not exactly emotional. I guess he can be emotional, but he keeps himself confined, doesn't he?
He doesn't really strike me as a dirty pimp, that just wants money. And he clearly cares, and he set up all these different plans and stuff to make sure that everyone's safe, and he thinks everything's going great. But, like I said, I don't think phoning the police on himself was a great idea, but, he did it to keep Minhee safe, and Guri's not happy about this, so she kind of storms off, and Jisoo he wants round two with Mrs. Lee or whatever, the Detective Lee. So he jumps in and basically demands a warrant from her. And then she gets a phone call from her head at the police department claiming that there is angry parents and they're upset that she's bullying one of the kids at school. And at this point, she ends up leaving. But really, this was Guri phoning in, pretending to be an upset parent. So, I mean, for now, they've got rid of the detective, but it's only a temporary fix. I'm sure she's not going to give up. She may have left in the meantime, but as Arnold Schwarzenegger once says, I'll be back. So, later that night, Guri is questioning Jisoo, and she's like, you know why they're doing this? You know why the police are relentlessly checking up on this? And it's because she's a minor. They don't really care about sex work, but once you get a minor involved, then they're going to be all over that shit. So Guri, Jisoo, they arrange for Mr. Lee to meet up with Minhee, and he takes her phone, resets everything. Jisoo goes on the phone and he tries to let her down gently that he is releasing her from the so-called client list, the clientele list, but he's taking his time and he's beating around the bush, not really just getting in there. So Guri grabs the phone and basically says, look, Minhee, you're a liar, you've refused work, you've cost us money, you're underage, we're cutting you right now. And obviously she's upset. Mr. Lee seems a little bit heartless here, just takes the phone, grabs it off her, grabs the bracelet, resets everything. She says that she hates them all. And even here you can see Jisoo, he's like, you don't have to be so mean. So even at this point, it's like, he feels bad.
He does feel bad, but you know what? He put this shitstorm in motion. End of the day, he's the one that employed her in the first place. Should never have went down this road. You know what?
Well, I mean, he would argue that she employed herself and he's just there. And if he would argue that if he wasn't providing a safety measure, then they would just be doing it without that.
Yeah, but he obviously knows who he employs. He would have known straight away. Yeah, that's that wee girl that goes to my high school here.
That's not the point I'm making.
No, that's the point I'm making. Yeah, I get it, right? Without him, she'd probably be dead. But here, he should have just refused her job status straight away.
Yeah, so At school, Detective Lee continues to phone Minhee, but she tells her to leave her alone. She uses a lot of fancy words that Jisoo would use, and this seems to impress her friends, because I guess a lot of them are illiterate and they can't really speak.
Use a word more than 5 letters.
Yeah, I guess they can't really speak, so she's using all these Jisoo words, and that's impressing everybody. Her boyfriend then beats up KT because, or KT, her boyfriend, beats up Jisoo because he thinks that he knows stuff, and he wants to know why the police were interested in his girl, and he thinks that Jisoo is interested in his girl. So Minhee asks him to stop beating up kids. So maybe you can see, maybe she's not really a bully, maybe she's just in the wrong crowd here, who knows.
What's Jisoo about here, man? Yeah, KT, whatever, he's bigger than you. But
Karate!
Hi, karate, fucking batter him back. I actually hate this. I mean, it's not this show, it's across the world this happens, but why do people just sit there and like, yeah, he's bigger than you, but fucking, you know what I mean? Yeah. Why do you need your girlfriend to fucking step up the task? So
Guri then appears and she berates Minhee, and she says, like, why are you letting him beat him up? Why don't you tell him the truth? And I guess she thinks that the race is ran here. She's going to reveal the whole sex trafficking thing, but she makes up lies that she's a thief and she was caught stealing from some fancy jewelry place for Katie's birthday. And that's why the police were involved, even though Guri's the one that's actually the thief and she's the one that stole everything. And she actually stole the first gift in the first episode because I guess she wants to rely on her own money, even if it is dirty money, because she doesn't like her parents. So accusing the thief accusing somebody else of being a thief, I mean, I guess it's poetic.
The pot calling the kettle black. Poetic. All that shit, damn it.
It is kind of poetic. So then we see Jisoo and Minhee meet again. They're in the study office. She wants to know why he keeps helping her. Why is he always there? Why does he always seem to be around and giving her advice? And she then asks, do you know what was happening about the hotel? And he says he might have heard a little bit. She then threatens to kill him if he says anything. She demands to know, though, why is he helping her? And then we get this little scene where he turns around and he talks to like this little, I don't know what you would call it, not an insect,
snail.
But it's like a snail. And he basically talks to the snail. He says what he wants to say to her, but instead he says it to the snail that basically, I'm your pimp. And that means if you're caught and you're fucked, then I will also be fucked as well. And then he turns around and makes up some excuse about people relations and stuff like that. And she then demands that he comes with her later on because she needs help with something. And what will that help be? It turns out that help is with severance pay.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? What's he doing here as well? I get it, he can't reveal too much, but he should be like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to, threatening to kill me? I'm the one that saved you earlier. Doesn't he need to go into the details of why he did it? But he did.
Yeah, so...
Is it the language barrier? Is it like the dubbing here? Because it just seems like really, I'll fucking slit your throat, I'll kill you. It's like the expressions on their face didn't really match with the fucking what they were saying.
Or maybe she didn't mean it literally, like, I'll kill you, you know?
I just fucking grabbed him, and man, he's just accepting it. Did he, man, Jisoo? Master.
It's time to do something, Jisoo. So, right, so she takes him on a journey, and they're going to meet with Mr. Lee. Obviously, Jisoo doesn't know that. Guri phones Jisoo, and she hears Minhee on the other side of the phone. Jisoo says he can't work the night. So, obviously, she thinks that here... She thinks that he is somehow interested in her because she's already given him a hat and now he is going out on his spare time and he's a bit of a nerd, doesn't really leave the house. So the fact that he is leaving the house and he's accompanying her, Guri just thinks that maybe there's some sort of relationship going on here. She demands 50-50 if this ever happens again.
50-50 book.
Well, I think it was 60-40 actually, but you know what? That's better than the 70-30 that she's currently on. We then see Tyram, who's one of the male clients. He walks into a room to meet with one of the clients. Mr. Lee was waiting. He walks in, and we see just like you've got plastic. It's just it would remind you of Dexter.
Yeah, it would remind you of Dexter, and these two quickly pointed out. You never watched Dexter?
Yeah, and then we see Ray Dool and his bodyguard. They attack him from behind. They basically tie him up, and Ray Dool says, like, you didn't do it right. There's a bit of plastic missing there. And he says, I told you to watch Dexter to get it done properly. And, you know, it was pretty cool. Dexter having a reference here on a Korean show. I thought it was Pretty neat.
Yeah, it was pretty neat, but they quickly find out that this guy's not their man. So
Yeah,
they have
so
to let him go.
they match up the numbers, and the numbers don't match. So he's a bit confused here. Why? It must be you. It's got to be you, but it's not you. So the phone numbers don't match, and he's a bit confused with the whole blue flavor alias. So, I mean, it turns out that they've got like the same. It's like the same network, but it's not the same phone. It's not the same phone number. So he thought he had his man, and it turns out no. So it's, he lets him go because I guess he can't really kill him. At the meeting inside of the restaurant, Jisoo sits down and he sees Mr. Lee and already. I mean, he starts to brick it. He's like, "What the hell's? Why am I here? I'm going to get caught. What is going on?" Minhee demands severance pay. She tells Mr. Lee that she's read into it. If she tells what's happening, then yeah, she'll get a slap on the wrist. But you guys will be fucked. And Mr. Lee plays it cool. Tries to phone Jisoo. He tries to phone Mr. Uncle, and nothing happens. The phone just vibrates in Jisoo's pocket. He tries his best not to let anybody hear it. And he wants to leave. Mr. Lee then steps up, and I guess he's not going to give her the severance pay. Does she deserve severance pay? I mean,
it's not legit business, is it? At the end of the day, severance pay. You're not in an office fucking job. You're a whore. An underage whore.
Well, that is kind of true. So Mr. Lee gets to go up, and she demands, "You got to say something, Jisoo. You're smart. Use some of your big words." But Jisoo's just bricking it. He wants to get out of here. He's not liking this situation.
But see, why did she think taking him would be good? Because the guy's a fucking shitebag.
Probably thought he'd use some big words, and Mr. Lee'd be like, "Okay, here's your severance pay."
Yeah, but what big words could he? I mean, here, he'd say words that are bigger than anything fucking words we could use, but that doesn't mean much, does it? At the end of the day?
No, Mr. Lee goes out, and he looks to his left, he looks to his right, and he realises, you know what, there's a few dodgy looking people hanging around here. And earlier we seen Tareem just basically stand in front of Mr. Lee, almost like he was pointing him out. So at this point, I think we can realise that there's a bunch of goons waiting on Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee tells Minhee not to follow him, but she wants her money, and she's not going to go away. So she does follow him, and she drags Jisoo with her. And then we see Mr. Lee get ambushed by about 15 guys here. And we get a big brawl, and he does pretty well considering he's only one guy.
Do you not think though, in like the Koreans and the Japanese shows, they're very choreographed, these fight scenes?
I mean, I guess
they come across as fake. They're not as authentic as they should be. It's like each person gets their licks in, if you know what I mean.
But do you not think karate looks kind of fake though?
Yeah.
Like, see when you watch Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, I mean, you could argue their fights do look a bit fake, but that's just the style, I think.
No, but this isn't karate though. This is we've got baseball bats, knives, fucking you name it.
It's an Asian guy. What do you mean it's not correct? So, they attack him, and we see a few kills in here, man. So he just like gets the knife and starts like stabbing people up, but then Rudale's main bodyguard manages to get the better of him, injects him with like some sort of syringe. Jisoo tries to help by pushing some sort of garbage container.
Yeah, but even like this, you know what I mean? It's very choreographed. He pushes this, and it's the invisible barricade. We can't do anything. It's like, fuck off.
It's like wrestling where you can't...
Aye, that's what it's like. Like, I like this show, but they're not going to whip this out in Breaking Bad. This is like fucking Takeshi's Castle, for fuck's sake.
So, that momentarily buys him a bit of time. He then headbutts... what's that other guy called? The big lanky guy who's a retard who didn't watch Dexter. Kakadugi.
It sounds like a fucking
dinosaur. Yeah, so he headbutts Kakadugi. And then we see we see like the carousel in the background just like turn on with the flashing lights, and what he gave Mr. Lee must have been some sort of like tranquilizer or something, because you can see him all he's like drowsy and in slow motion, not really seeing things correctly. I mean, that's kind of gave me a little bit of Punisher vibes here when you've got the carousel scene.
Aye, where they were fighting.
And they got the PTSD in there as well.
That was another fight that I thought was ridiculous and over the top.
Punisher one?
Aye.
I thought it was pretty good, no?
No, it was good, but it's like, how much pain, how much punishing can you? But I think you compare the two, it's like the Punisher one was just well done. I feel like It's 15 on one, and it's not like you're getting 5 attacking them at once. They're all taking their time.
Well, there was like, well, not all. Well, you get like 3, I think.
Aye, but
No, but you see that it's hard for 15 people to attack one guy at the same time.
if they surround him, he's fucked.
No, but if he was backed up against a wall.
Yeah, well then a 180-degree angle, man.
Maybe they thought the first guy would get the job done.
Ah, well he didn't. Well, I sent 15 guys in. Seems a bit of a fucking waste of money to me. The first guy's gonna get it done.
In case he doesn't, I don't know, backup plan.
Anyway,
Substitutes. Rudale then jumps out of nowhere and he jumps off one of the horses, I think, and lands onto the guardrail and he stabs, I guess, stabs. I mean, is that what you use the term? Is that the correct term when you hit someone with an axe? Are you stabbing them or are you like impaling them? Or he stabs Mr. Lee in the back, and I mean, this looks like it would kind of kill you, but Mr. Lee then grabs him and tosses him off. But at this point, he's kind of fucked because he's just been hit in the back with an axe, and he's stumbling all over the place. He manages to go through this little guardrail thing, and then Jisoo blocks the guardrail and he pushes against it.
Oh, well, hold on, look at this scene, right? Why aren't they just fucking jumping over it? We're talking about a fence, it's 3-foot fucking tall.
Yeah, but you know, this lasted like a couple of seconds.
Oh, but fucking 10 seconds too long. They're trying to open this fence, they fucking just jump it.
So he's pushing against it. They can't really get to him, and we see Mr. Lee escape with Minhee, and Rudale then jumps the gate that you recommended. He does jump it.
Oh fuck! Do you have to be a main character to jump the gate?
I think so. He then grabs Jisoo and he throws him to the floor. Jisoo tries to get up, but he just pushes him down with his foot, and all of a sudden his phone's just flew, and the phone it matches the number. It's blue flavour, and all of a sudden Rudale realises, here, this is the guy that has been sleeping with my wife. This little pathetic man right here, Mr. Blue Flavour himself. And that's where the episode ends, with Jisoo realising, you know what, maybe it would have been better here if I did get caught by the police, because instead I've been caught by Rudale, and now I am fucked. So that was the end of the episode, guys. Time to give it a score. Time to review it. First, a good episode. Obviously, we had the stuff with the detective at the beginning, and then the release of Minhee and Jisoo meeting Mr. Lee. Is it for the first time? Is it not for the first time? Negotiating, trying to... Well, I mean, he was supposed to negotiate. He was supposed to try and get severance pay. He kind of just shat it. He kind of just bottled up and just sat there and didn't say anything. I also liked the little scene where he was speaking to the snail as well, and then we get to see Rudale and his cronies and the whole Dexter setup, and nice to get a wee Dexter reference in there. Then, you know, we get some kills actually. We get a couple of kills and a wee cool fight scene at the carnival. So I think this is probably the best episode that we've seen in a while. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I think it was good.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. There you go, guys. Extracurricular 7.5.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.